Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome and good morning to everybody here to the Quarterdeck Arcade. It's build day, you all. I finally got a cab. You know, after almost a full year of not buying a 3/4 scale arcade, I finally got one. So I pulled the trigger. I think it's time for me to pick up a Fast and the Furious. So I did. I was tempted to get two, but I only got one. So I figured my gal wasn't going to be down here often enough to race against. So I just got the one, and I'll probably keep it stocked for a while before I head on out over to Buy Stuff Arcades and take advantage of their PC mod. As you all know, I got the Star Wars back there too, which I could also do the PC mod too. And I do technically have two cabs that I could actually mod. So who knows? Maybe I'll mod that Star Wars at some point. I like the Star Wars the way it is. But good morning, everybody. Welcome. Kind of a half and half day here. We're all happy here in Wisconsin because our Milwaukee Brewers defeated the Chicago Cubs. Sorry, P-Dubs. Sorry, Cornercade. 3-1 last night to win the series 3-2. So they're moving on to face the Los Angeles Dodgers starting Monday. So congrats to all the Brewers and the Brewers fans out there. I'm right there with you. I'm very happy. Of course, I went to bed early last night, so I did not see the game live, but I did watch the highlights, and it was an exciting game. So really happy about that. So, but here we are. We're in the arcade. I haven't. Well, I did fire it up on Thursday, so I played some games on Thursday. Quick note: I am now on day 5 of not having anybody from AtGames technical support reach out to me. Day 5. So I have an open ticket. I have a case number. Their automated system sent me a notification that the case was opened, but I have not heard from AtGames since. So do we need to be worried about AtGames at this point? Why does it take them 5 days going on not reaching out to a customer who's having difficulties? I don't know if you've seen my posts, but my AtGames Legends HD, my Metallica skinned HD pinball is down. Thinking that maybe, well, it was the last firmware update that did me in. I decided to do a factory reset. And so I was able to accomplish the factory reset. The problem is none of the controls now work. I can't get past the main page on the, it's basically reset to initial startup or initial setup. So it wants me to hit the right arrow to continue on with the setup, and I can't do that because the button doesn't work. So either I've got a bad controller and encoder board, whatever, or maybe the firmware that's on there right now is bad. I don't know. I need AtGames to tell me this stuff. I need AtGames to tell me if I need a new encoder board. Send me a new encoder board. If I have to pay for it because it's probably out of warranty, I'll pay for it. But just reach out to me, okay, dudes? I realize you might be struggling right now. I realize you've had a lot of software issues lately, but you need to stay in touch with your customers, okay? 5 days now we're on that they have not said jack squat to me. So I'll give them another couple of days, and then I'm going to let them have it with both barrels. I mean, it's ridiculous. Reach out to your customers when they're in need. Okay. So let me know at Games if you're still interested in, my business, I guess, but you probably don't care because little old me with only 200 and some odd subscribers, you don't care about me. So, oh well, it is what it is. Exciting week in the home arcade. A lot of people got some new stuff. It's been a while since people have been getting new stuff, including myself. So it was exciting to see some of the videos hit the street on Basic Fun, and I realized that it wasn't a very stellar release of the WrestleFest cabinet, and I know P-Dubs is very upset with his, and but Kelso seems to be happy with his. So bit of a 50-50 situation there. I am disappointed in the control deck. I'm disappointed there's no a plexiglass protector. I am also disappointed in the marquee for WrestleFest. Granted, I don't have any nostalgia for that cabinet, so it's not on my radar to buy. So, but I do feel for those that had high expectations, and at least for the coating that Arcade1Up went to in lieu of the plexiglass, but they didn't. It doesn't seem like they even did that. So feel sorry for you. I saw a post just before going on today about the centipede cabinet. Somebody received their centipede cabinet, and he actually seems to like it, except for, again, the deck issue. No coin door, but maybe he's happy with that. I mean, you can fix a coin door with Retro 530 mod. So who knows? Let's take a break here and say hi to folks in the chat, guys. If I put on my glasses, don't laugh at me. I kind of look like Wild Thing from what's that movie? The baseball movie with Euchre in it, Major League. So I'm blind without them, my readers. But I just picked up on the Amazon Deal Days a set of 5 glasses. I love them. I love because they have a coating on them for working with computers and laptops, and but I also love the body of them. They're rigid, whereas the wireframe readers that I'd been using, flimsy as hell, bent all out of shape. But these, they're handy because and they're nice because they don't. It takes a lot to really warp them out of shape. So functionally, I love them. I'm not too crazy about the look. So go ahead and have a laugh at my expense if you want. So let's say hi to folks in the chat. Let's see. Prince Vinny is here. Yes, I have one. I put up that poll earlier or last week. The 3 cabs that I was looking at picking up, and so I let you all help me decide. So you guys did, and Fast and Furious won. So Fast and Furious is now here in the Quarterdeck Arcade, and we're going to build it today. Gotham is here. Good to see you, Gotham. Let's see. Stock Jock is here. Let's run a Cat 5 up between. Yeah, let's do that. It's actually, when I put my network knowledge to thinking about my network knowledge, it might be possible to do something like that. It would cost money, but I did something similar back in the old Doom days and the Duke Nukem days when their networking was in its infancy, and there was a way. It was that particular, and with Duke Nukem and Doom, there was a software layer in between the application and your network that basically made you appear on the same network as somebody, let's say, in Tampa. And so you could actually play Doom and Duke Nukem back in those days with somebody remote. And it was hilarious. We actually tested that in-house at my work because, part of my job is to test things. So we tested we tested that networking technology, but it's been a few years since I even looked at doing that again. I don't know if same it would be a software layer that we'd have to introduce or even hardware. So, but I would think that would be technically feasible. Ted Adam Green is here. Good to see you, Ted. Always welcome. Let's see who else. Who else? Hockey Town is here. Welcome, Hockey Town. Yeah, finally. I feel like when I've done shows for over the last year. Yes, I've done like quarter scale builds. Um, uh, the GRS buildicades. I've done a lot of those. And some other things, but I don't want to call it my bread and butter because I don't make any money off this because I'm not monetized and nor do I care to be, but it's a hobby. So, but I feel like I'm at my happiest when I'm able to build one of these things. That's why when P-Dubs did his stream yesterday and the countercade, we learned that the countercade had to be assembled. I'm like, well, that's part of the fun. Let's get to it. I realized people with the countercades, they loved opening up the box and just lifting it out, plugging it in and go. But I like building stuff. It's part of the fun. My watch just reminded me, folks, of something that I did this morning. I am coming to Pinball Expo. I made the decision this morning, and I went online and I bought the tickets for both myself and my gal. So both her and I are going to make the 2-hour journey from where I live down to Schaumburg next weekend, next Saturday. I'll be there on Saturday, one day only. She's got to work Friday and Sunday. And I have to work on that Friday. So, but I did make the decision. I am coming down and I will be wearing the purple Quarterdeck baseball jersey. So if you see somebody wandering around with Quarterdeck and the number 71 on the back, that'd be me. Feel free to walk up and say hi. So I will be there. As far as what time I'll be there, I'll try to work it out where I'm there at open, but my gal and I, Saturdays are our long runs. So we're going to knock out our long run on Saturday morning, and then we'll come home. We'll eat, and then we'll come home, shower, and then we'll head out. So I don't know if I'll be exactly there at open, but I'll try to be. But if I'm not there and you don't see me, I'll show up at some point. So, but she wants to come. I made sure last night that if I decided this morning to go, that I made sure that she was sure she wanted to go, and she wants to go. She's hoping that the Metallica pinball will be there. I'm assuming Stern's going to have a presence, so if Metallica is there, she'd love to play that table. Chris S is here. Good to see you, Chris S. Gramps Arcade is here. Good to see you. Yeah, I kind of wonder about that. I don't think anybody's even looking at tickets there anymore. It's a shame. Yeah, actually, I do have one of those. I have I printed a sign that's out of order with a thermometer, a guy with an arcade with a thermometer sticking out of it. You've seen it before. You've probably seen it. Other content creators use the same image. Mike Hawk Hertz is here. Good to see you. PB&J is here. Good to see you as well. Interesting. Okay, so well, that's something to use as a guideline. So if it took you 3 weeks to get a response, then I'm really in the infancy of my support request and should probably be more patient. Well, I gotta say, 3 weeks is just unacceptable. They should be reaching out to you within a day or two, 1 or 2 business days after entering the ticket. You at least should get an acknowledgement email. We're aware of your issue. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Something like that. B Kirby is here. Good to see you. Nice. Nice. Happy for you. I did not go for that centipede because I have a centipede right behind me, right there, that I bought off Cornercade. So and it's even autographed. So I'm pretty happy with that. I see no need with the 19-inch upgrade from Buy Stuff Arcades. That centipede actually does play at the accurate aspect ratio. So I'm pretty happy with it. Meatball Saucy is here. Good to see you as always. Let's see. They Be Me is here as well. Just looking through, making sure nobody's asking questions. Yep, I'll be there eventually. If I'm not there at open, I'll be there within an hour or two of it, I'm sure. We are making a stop at White Castle. Well, she isn't because she can't eat there, but I'll probably stop at Jersey Mike's for her and get her a sandwich, and then we'll go eat at White Castle. It's another opportunity for me to hit up. I don't have a White Castle near me, so there is one or two between here and the Schaumburg Renaissance Center. So Biggie D is here. Good to see you. Welcome. So Biggie D, I don't know if you heard me earlier. I am coming to the Pinball Expo. Already bought the tickets. So if I'm not there at the open, I will be there within an hour or two of open. Da-da-da-da-da. No, I did not. I don't have any nostalgia for that game, but more power to anybody that does and wanted to get it. I understand there's some disappointing things with it. If I had some nostalgia for it, I might have pulled the trigger on it. But that's this might be a good time to introduce this topic. You've you've all seen me rant and rave about the community and how it can be sometimes. And I'll go back to the thing that I said a few weeks ago, I guess. What you see behind me is what makes me happy. Okay? I do what makes me happy. I understand there's some limitations and there's some problems with these. I get it. But I still bought it. I still paid good money for it because I can and I wanted to. It's my decision. So I don't hang on every word from certain content creators in this community, waiting whether or not I should buy it. Everybody in this community is a grown man, probably between the ages of 40 and 60. They know how to spend their money. They don't need people telling them what they can or can't do. All right? But all I'll say is what I've said before. Do what makes you happy. This makes me happy. Okay? Now, if you want to sit there and laugh at me because I spend all that money on the stuff behind me, that's up to you. I'm not going to listen to it. It's not going to faze me one bit. You know why? Because all I care about is how I feel. Okay? So, to the people in this community that want to bring people down for what they do in their own homes or home arcades, I don't know what to tell you. Be happier. there's a good, just be happier. Anyway, that's enough said on that. I realize we're going to have drama in the community no matter what. It seems like anything on the internet these days has drama in it at one point. So just be kind and be nice to each other, just do that. Try it sometime, All right. Sorry to get on my soapbox there, but the events of the last, 48 hours, last week, really. Yeah, Prince Vinny. I was raised on White Castles. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, originally. So I grew up there. And so White Castle was a staple of my hangouts on Friday nights, and You haven't lived until you've been in a 24-hour White Castle at 2 AM in the morning. It's just a lot of good memories for me hanging out with the guys, having some burgers and fries. And one of my favorite movies is uh, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. It's just hilarious because it reminded me of my Friday night journeys. I don't mean to be preachy, but I do think I did want to get it off my chest anyway. I mean, everything you see behind me, I mean, even the Fast and the Furious, I got zero nostalgia for Fast and Furious, but you know why I picked it up? Because it was a cool looking cabinet and I needed a racing cab. And you people told me to buy it because I polled you all and you all said, get the Fast and Furious. You know, I did not grow up with Fast and Furious. I only watched the first movie of the franchise, but it's a driving game. So I wanted something for my home arcade and I added it. Do I generally lean towards getting stuff that makes me nostalgic? Yes. But I'll dip into something else if I think it's a cool looking cabinet. I still love the Yoga Flame. I know a lot of people call it the Pizza the Hut cabinet, but I love that cabinet. And if I can bring it back, I will. So I'm on the hunt for a Yoga Flame, and I do know of one on Marketplace. And right now it's a little pricey for me, but he comes down on it, I might scoop it up. By the way, there's a Burger Time in Michigan that I keep asking my gal if she wants to go on a road trip for. It's way up in the northern part of the state, I think. No, it's up near, well, yeah, it's up near Detroit, I think. But it's still on Marketplace. And he wants only $675 for it. Will I drive 6 hours to get it? I absolutely would for that cabinet. Amy Me says, buy what you want and enjoy it. It's why I got a V pin over a 4K pin. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, just be happy. Be happy we have these things. Yeah, some of them might be shit, but we can fix them or we can live with them. Some of these I live with because I'm just too lazy to get around to fixing them, but they work fine for me. I just want a space I can come in and breathe and just take in the sounds, the sights and the sounds and the color and just enjoy it. That's me and this hobby. So if you hate on the WrestleFest, fine. But if it's a pretty cabinet and it has all the bells and whistles that, the audio that wants to add to my arcade ambiance, I won't hesitate to pick it up. Exactly. Exactly. I own almost 900 movies on what used to be called Vudu. Now it's Fandango at home. People ask me, why do you own all these movies? Because I want to. It makes me happy. Okay. Oh, you don't know what you're missing, Stock Jock. Good for you, man. I'm glad to hear that. It makes me happy, and I know it'll probably make you happy. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. It really is. I actually, they're so wonderful. I might pick up the kicks and the elevator action too. But before I do that, I might go ahead and get the Pepsi and 7-Up. I'll have to have them shipped, so I don't know what the shipping is going to be like coming over from England. But I do want the Pepsi and the 7-Up USB hubs. So that I'm thinking that'll be my next numbskull purchase. The 7-Up is to honor my mom, who was a big 7-Up drinker. Me, I'm a Pepsi. Pepsi guy through and through. Yeah, stock jock. Let's do that. Definitely. There is a going back to that there is a White Castle in Kenosha. That's the nearest the only White Castle in Wisconsin actually is in Kenosha, just above the Illinois border. So we'll either stop at that one or the one at Grand or Gurney Mills Mall near Six Flags on the way to the Pinball Expo next week. All right, we're caught up with the chat now. So Basic Fun, I'm going to give you my thoughts on Basic Fun. They look nice. I have issues with them without the coin doors on the Ultra series. I also have an issue with the control panel not having the artwork. I don't have any slides for you today, folks. I did not. I didn't eat anything yet this morning, so that's what I was doing right before the show was getting some food in me. But so I don't have anything to show you. But I will say that I'm more impressed with their Countercade line than I am with the Ultra line, and that is borne out by the fact that I bought 2 of the Countercades. I bought the Centipede, which P-Dubs put together yesterday on his stream, and I'll probably live stream my build of it. You all can watch if you want. But in watching his stream and me going out to the Amazon web store, I noticed that the other Countercades were now available. So you can go out there and order the Tempest. You can go out there and order the Asteroids cabinets as Countercades as well. And I think the Countercades actually look really nice, except for the fact they don't. Well, here's the other thing I found out via his stream yesterday. They're advertising on those Countercades that they have lit marquees. They don't have lit marquees. It's just a piece of wood with art on it. So buyer beware. I know that. I know they don't have lit marquees, but I'm sure there's going to be third-party people that you can get a lit marquee from eventually for these things. I'm also curious to know if G.I. Joe is going to come out with a riser for the Basic Fun Countercades. But I'm more of a fan of the Countercade line. I do love the fact that the Centipede is in the right orientation. The control panel art is kind of a question mark at this point. Are they going to wear just like the Ultra line looks like it's going to wear? But I do like them. So we'll see. Maybe next weekend I'll do a build of the 2 Countercades that come in. Actually, it's really interesting because when I bought the Centipede, it told me it'd be here between the 14th and the 16th. And then I just got a note this morning that it'll be here today. So 2 days before. So they're shipping them really fast and they're getting here really fast. And I just bought the Tempest Countercade yesterday. So I'm going to assume that's probably going to be here Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see. Yeah. I kind of noticed that myself. It kind of reminded me of what I do. Because if we look, I'll give you the setup here. So if we look at my setup here, I'm in my arcade, right? The only window I have is off to the off in the back of the arcade, but I don't have a curtain in front of it. So I'm trying to do it so that I'm not going to have any lighting issues on screens and stuff. But I do have my cell phone going for a head-on view of the build, and then I have my 2 side cameras that can capture both sides. So hopefully I'll bring you a good build session here. So you bought both Countercades. Are you talking about the ones they had available, which is WrestleFest and Centipede, or did you buy Tempest or Asteroids? Yeah. Again, I can't speak to the gameplay. I have it on multicade, and I did play around with it this week just to see what everybody loved about the game, or what the missing components that were being spoken about were like. And so it's a fun game. I had a good time playing it. The camera setups that I use are connected to a USB hub, which is connected to my laptop, and they are routed through OBS. You are correct, sir. So I'm using free software, um, and I'm using OBS to handle all of the media, the video. Actually, I've kind of jury rigged a thing here, so I'm using OBS primarily for video switching and maybe inserting a title uh, here and there, switching camera views around. I'm using Restream for the streaming component, and then I have an audio mixer which handles the audio that feeds the Restream, called Sonar. So I switched from Sonar to a really complicated thing. I don't even remember the name of it. It was so complicated, but it was hard to. It co- it confused me most of the time. And Sonar's version of an audio mixer is actually really quite simple. So I appreciate it. Yeah, I heard about Buy Stuff on. I think it was on the Super Game Room dudes mentioned it. That Buy Stuff was going to come out with a box for it. So that's good. Solutions for the community. I'm all for it. Okay, WrestleFest and Centipede. Well, now I don't know if this is area specific, but Tempest and Asteroids were available to me yesterday. I could have ordered both of those. I only ordered the Tempest. I figured I need to. I need to. I need to start curbing my spending a little bit. I've bought a lot in the last week or so. Yeah, I was Prince Vinny when I got into this a couple years ago. I made the decision I was going to try and do it as cheap as possible, and the only thing I'm really paying for is the Restream. And but my cameras aren't routed through Restream directly. They come through OBS. So what you're looking at on your screen is actually an image sent to Restream by OBS. So it just works better. The only thing you got to work at initially is getting your lip sync down. So you're not looking like you're talking Chinese or English. You're not looking like you're a Chinese actor speaking English in a foreign film. So I think you get that reference, like all those kung fu movies. Yeah, I still don't know if I'm ready to do that, and I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, so I probably should. I probably should have somebody, on while I'm doing a build just to, um, I don't know, maybe someday. I did have Cornercade on once. That was a long time ago, but it was very brief. But it's something that I know I probably want to do at some point, but I'm just not ready for it. I don't think so. So we talked a bit about basic fun, the areas of disappointment. You've all seen the videos. I don't want to rehash it, but um, I want to see what the Supremes are going to give us. Um, I do think I'm interested in the Return of the Jedi, maybe the Return of the Jedi Supreme. So when that hits the streets, and I heard a rumor via YouTube that it might be next month that we see the Return of the Jedi. So let's see what comes. And I'm really interested in seeing what the Supreme version of that looks like. And I'd like to know if the deck is improved in the Supreme versions and the marquee isn't washed out. Oh, speaking of ornaments, my sister sent me something. We were talking. I can't do it now because my phone is serving as one of my cameras. But my sister sent me a text yesterday of an ornament she found in Walmart, And I went to Walmart this morning to look for it in my Walmart. And my Walmart hasn't deployed all their Christmas stuff yet. They're still putting it all out. They've got signs up everywhere that says more is coming. But I couldn't find it this morning at my Walmart. But she sent me a picture of a White Castle ornament. So we're talking about White Castle. There's an actual ornament in the shape of an old-time White Castle restaurant. And I so want to get a couple of those to add to my tree this year. So be on the lookout for that in your Walmart, a White Castle ornament. I am worried about the marquees for the basic funds, the Ultra Series. B Kirby, I think you're the one that said you had the Centipede. How's the marquee on that? Some of the it seems like it might be better than the WrestleFest marquee. I am impressed by the fact they're using cam bolts, but I am concerned about the fact that you can see the cam bolts on the speaker panel. So they expose it. It's like they reversed it. They should have put the cam bolt. They should have put the cam bolts hidden, so you can see the cam bolts. You're gonna have to cover that up with some sort of plastic cover. I'm sure somebody makes them that you can cover the cam bolt up with like a black cover or something. But I noticed that in Kelso's stream or Kelso's video. Lack of the coin door is not a big deal. I know Corner Cake touches on this too. It's an easy mod. You can do it with Retro 530's product. Maybe a sheet of vinyl if you need it. Just to touch on Arcade1Up briefly. I don't know if you all saw my post, but apparently the Neon Pac-Man is now available at Sam's Club. I don't know if it's in store. I was in Sam's Club earlier in the week. I did not see it. So, but it is available through their app. So, check it out. $4.99 was the cost that Sam's Club's app had for it. So if you're interested, I'm interested just because I'm curious how it looks under a black or blue light. I've got my black lights here. I kind of want to get one just to see how that cabinet looks under my black light. It's kind of a cool looking cabinet, I think. But do I want to spend $4.99 for it? I don't know. I might. Again, for me, it's about ambiance and look. If it's something cool looking, even though I already have it several times over on some of these cabinets, you know, that's the hobby, right? I mean, we like cool looking shit. It is for me anyway. So yeah, check that out. Sam's Club app, the neon edition Pac-Man for $4.99. Things that are happening here in the arcade. Well, today we're going to get the Fast and Furious built, which means I'm going to start building out the middle of the arcade again. So I had to do some power work this morning to get power to the center. Hey, Gamer Fridge, good to see you, man. Yes, Biggie D, to answer your question, I've always wanted a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I want to get Simpsons back. And there are a ton of Simpsons on Marketplace right now, but not for the price I'd be willing to pay. So I definitely want to get Simpsons back. I would love to get a TMNT back. If it's Arcade1Up's version or if it's basic fun, it depends. Depends on how it looks to me. But I definitely want to get those two Konami games. I would love to get Simpsons back in because I thought that was a fun little cabinet. Good looking cabinet too, in my opinion. So yes, I am interested in a TMNT. Yes, you are correct, sir. And I did have some of the Arcade1Up's countercades, but I sold them. back in my difficulties in 2024. So I really regretted getting rid of that Marvel 2-player Countercade. I wish I could get it back, but you will? Where are you at? I don't even know what your locality is. If I don't have to drive too far for it, that'd be great. I think you're local to me. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure. So things that are happening in the arcade. So I've got the Centipede Basic Fun and the Tempest Basic Fun countercades coming. The Centipede might be here today, and I might go live later today to do a build of that. 9 times out of 10, after I do a build and then I shut down the stream, I wind up plopping my butt in a chair and I don't move for the rest of the day. So it depends how I feel. So maybe, maybe not. Oh, Gamer Fridge, I am coming to Pinball Expo, and I will be wearing the Arcades Anonymous jersey. So look for Quarterdeck number 71. I will be there. Maybe not right at show open on Saturday, but I will be there within an hour or two of getting there. Oh, Lower West Michigan. Okay. Well, you're not too far away. I just have to hook around Indiana and Gary. Not too bad. Maybe I could stop by your house as I'm driving up to northern Michigan for that burger time. Yeah. Okay, so I talked about Centipede and the Tempest countercades coming from Basic Fun. My guys, I don't know if any of you have had this issue, but here's my Zoltar, and I might pick up another one just because of this, or I might just write the company and see if they can do anything for me. But the power port is broken on this Zoltar, and I'm really, really disappointed about that. I was going to try and pop it open and see if I can fix it myself, but I can't. There's like a short in the power now, and it's loose. I can feel the connector loose, like it's broken off of a board or something. And so I've got it unplugged now. It's basically just a showpiece. It's got some battery life in it, so it probably still works, but I don't dare plug it in now because I'm fearful of that port. So I might just go ahead and buy another one just to replace it. Mike Hockert says he thinks Basic Fun needs to put out some information that they will launch section of their site for firmware. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should do that. It's probably less than a year since I bought it, so it's probably within some sort of warranty. I don't know what their warranties are, but maybe I'll just do that. I'll send them an email. All right, Gamer Fridge, I'll look for you. Okay, so yeah, I'm having that issue with the power on that. I talked about the Pepsi and the 7-Up USB hubs from Numbskull. That's probably going to be my next Numbskull purchase because I have a vision now for this 1/6 and 1/4 scale display here, and I think those are must pickups because I'm running out of ports to plug in USB power supplies, and I think I need a couple more hubs, and that would be perfect. So I think that's going to be my next couple of purchases. I do have, y'all know, I do have Glenn's FU cabinet coming. I also have GI Joel's gaming cabinet coming. I've had the artwork on hand, so that's going to be a get up and go as soon as it gets here. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be my Donkey Kong cabinet. So Donkey Kong Jr. actually. Got to get the terminology right. Joe Zabel, I mentioned last week, Joe Zabel reached out to me and got back to me after I reached out to him that the artwork for my 2 Build-A-Cades, smaller Build-A-Cades are on their way, and I do have some packages coming. I just don't know if uh, his is one of them. We'll see. And I have some surprises, which I'm not gonna talk about right now. Um, I have some surprises. So it's not anything we're gonna get into today, so it'll probably be one might be coming in next week's show. It depends on how these countercades arrive and how they flow. I might just do videos for the countercades rather than live stream it, but y'all know me, I don't like to do videos. That's very true. My showpiece right now is that Space Invaders, that T2 Space Invaders mod I did. That's everybody loves that. They just that's the cabinet they're drawn to when they see my arcade. They go, "Oh my god, that's such a cool looking cabinet. It has guns because I've got the retro shooters in that cabinet." That's my marquee piece, but I really think that this Donkey Kong Jr. is really going to stand out. Moat's here. Everybody say hi to Moat. Welcome, Moat. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so I do have surprises coming and look for them in the coming weeks. I kind of wanted to set myself up for some good winter content and um so uh I should have some good things coming for Saturday or Sunday morning live shows. So look forward to that. We did not touch on Iconic, but I will say the only thing I want to say about this week, if you've watched some of the streams, Iconic, John D posted some more uh, images of images of his Double Dragon cabinet and Iconic's Double Dragon and the Street Fighter. And I got to say, I'm kind of really impressed with the Street Fighter cabinet now, and I'm really hemming and hawing about getting that instead of the Yoga Flame back. You all probably say go for the Iconic, but I don't know. It's kind of a toss up for me. So I'm really impressed with the latest artwork that came out of Iconic about their coming cabs, especially that Street Fighter cabinet. I think it looks great. So that's all. I'm on the fence about that. So anyway, I've talked long enough. My gosh, it's almost an hour and we haven't even started the build yet. So let's get into the build. Why don't we? Let me set myself up here. Got to switch mics. Poor P-Dubs yesterday, man. If y'all watched his stream, I don't catch many live streams, but when I can, I do. And I was fully engaged on his build yesterday, and I sympathized with his audio issues. Check, check, check. All right, so let's switch mics here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Hopefully you all still have me. I'm now on the lavalier mic. I'm gonna leave. Well, let's see. What views can I use here? I'll go with this one. I wish I had done a scene for the other camera as well, but I don't think I did. Well, I could just modify it, I guess. All right, let me know, B. Kirby. I appreciate it. He did. He really finished strong. It was a good stream. I had fun. Good for you, Stock Shock. I'm really glad to hear that. I don't know if you're going to live stream or if you're going to shoot video of your cabinet or just post pictures. I look forward to seeing it because I know you and I got the same thing pretty much. So, oh, I didn't mean to press that one, but go ahead. All right, let's turn on the house lights and get to it. I do have my tablet with me so I can follow the chat. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing Pac-Man gear today to celebrate the fact that Pac-Man turned 45 this week. All right. All right, so I've got the chat going on my tablet. I'm gonna get my water. Oh man, I talk. I don't like drinking with the audio not muted because it kind of sounds annoying, but. All right, looks like my light's okay. Let's get to it. All right. So here we have the standard Arcade1Up box. It's got a few dings in it, but nothing that looks penetrated the box. So it's in good shape. That's the first thing I always check when I open up one of these boxes. So, and I also make sure the seals are still good on both sides, the bottom and the top, which they are. And just kind of generally look to make sure nothing looks like, it's a forklift hasn't poked a hole in it. So everything looks good on the box. I get a little audio feedback. I got to turn down the volume. Kind of generally look to make sure nothing looks like reverb. There we go. All right. Yeah, I realize this cab isn't for everybody, but I like driving cabs, so I don't know what I'm looking for. All my tools are out here. All right, so let's cut this baby open. This is exciting. I haven't built one of these in forever. There you go, that nice crisp sound. And here we have documentation. I do have a kickstand on this thing. Awesome. That's even better. Biggie D's, Mystery Encoder has a soft mod for this cab? That I'll look into. All right, we have all of our components, our pieces, screws, dowels, standard Arcade1Up kit. I got my contractor garbage bag. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 3 boxes and the side panels. All right, 3 boxes. And then the side panels. Ooh, this sucker's heavy. I've those of you that follow me on Instagram and follow my workouts, you know that I've been struggling with my forearms. I'm getting a lot of pain in my forearms because I mixed it up a little bit after my marathon. I started changing around my workouts, and I'm working out muscles I never worked out before. And I'm doing a lot of planks. And so my forearms are taking a beating lately because I haven't worked those muscles before. So I was going to take a rest day today from the gym, but I thought, you know, I'm up. I might as well just go. So tradition has that every time I do a build, I always take the box, the empty box, and I display it during the build. This isn't like Arcade1Up's best box, I wouldn't say. You know, they've come out with boxes. So I'll kind of set the box off to the side here. I keep kicking the power here. All right, Biggie D, I will look into Mystery Encoder stuff for this cab. That's why I really regret getting rid of my I really regret getting rid of my NFL Blitz because he came out with that mod after the fact. All right. So the first things I always do is get my parts situated to try to do an organized build. Oh, we have screw hole covers in multicolors. That's good. We got our dowels, which are part A. I try to go in order. We've got our screws, which are B. I'm going to zoom in there so you guys can see better. Actually, why don't we just do this? Just going to move this camera around as so we got our C screws, D, spare parts. We got the wall anchors. We don't give a shit about those. Got E, I. We really don't need those till the end. We got our power here, and of course the power is separate. So you have to put the piece on. All right, and we've got a Y splitter here. This will go into the spare parts bin. And we'll set the power aside for now. We'll go ahead and get the assembly. Now, it's been so long since I put one of these together. I actually do need to follow the book. And they have their build your game room thing here. Nothing revealing. Obviously, this is an older cab. They just have their deluxe line on here. So there's the assembly. A lot of this stuff I don't even need to keep. But I do throw away all the language stuff. I don't need Spanish. I just need English. I don't care about their warranty. And this big, huge language, don't care about that. Don't care about that either. So I just care about certain documents. This can go too. I don't need this. Gamer Fridge, I'm building the Fast and the Furious. All right. So we've got our parts out. And it goes through its part. The manual goes through the parts inventory. We're going to start with the panels, but let's unbox the boxes first. Okay, here we have the control panel and the marquee. And that wasn't good. All right, so what we have here are the speaker panel, which has the with the deluxe line, you get the speaker covers. That's really nice. All right. Then we have our marquee, which is a backlit marquee. This scares the hell out of me because it. Let me know in the chat, guys. Is the Fast and the Furious marquee washed out, or is it a pretty decent marquee? Or if I'm going to wind up having to replace it. It looks impressive, just on initial inspection. But there it is. I'm going to set these parts and pieces near me. Okay, Fast and Furious control panel. 1, 2, 3 buttons. Live music. Start NO2 shifter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now the plastic protector plexiglass is still got its film on it, so I'm not going to touch that right now. But a decent looking control panel. That's pretty. I like that. Styrofoam. That's why I get these big contractor bags, garbage bags for these builds, because you put all your garbage in there and put it out with. Our garbage day is Tuesday. All right, let's get this box out of the way of the one camera. This is a pretty light box. All right, you got your pedals. So the pedal assembly. You got your cable here, you got your gas, and you got your brake. Probably not the best, but for what it is, probably acceptable. We'll find out when we put it through its paces. We've got our coin door. Not a lit coin door, so if I want to do that at some point, I'm going to have to do that mod. I do have parts and pieces from Stock Jock. Thank you, Stock Jock. So I do have a means to do it. So we'll set this aside. And here are like all of our support panels. Just checking in with the chat, making sure everything's going okay. And I hate shrink wrap. I hate dealing with it. It's like Anakin Skywalker in sand. It just gets places. L, K, K, K. So we've got our standard Arcade1Up cabinet pieces here. We've got a printed little O panel here with gauges. Again, I could have had all this already taken out of the packages before I went live, but I thought, what's the fun in that? Let's watch Pete stumble around. I hate shrink wrap. All right, so our O panel with the gauges. Oops. I started a joust session. Didn't mean to. Interesting little G2. I've never seen these before. G2 blocks. Wonder what that goes. We'll find out. A lot of pieces here are different than a typical Arcade1Up build. I have a feeling that's because it's a driving cabinet. And y'all remember I had a Ridge Racer at one point that did have the Buy Stuff mod in it, the gaming box. And I sold that last year as well. I hated that. A lot of games I sold last year I did not want to let go of, but had to. So it's just the way it goes. All right, so let's find a little home for these panels. And then we'll open our last box. Hey, Zero, welcome. Welcome. This one's a little bit heavier, so. This would be the monitor. All right, so we've got the monitor assembly. Shrink wrap, of course. Got a couple of P panels. This is a BOE monitor, which I'm pretty sure the community already knew, but just to confirm that on camera, that it is a BOE monitor. And it's upside down, but there we go. Just looking at the back, So we have our wireless, of course, and we've got our control panel cable, we've got power, we've got a micro USB or SD, speaker, lights, and USB ports. So standard Arcade1Up wireless ports. No real bezel work, artwork really, other than the Arcade1Up logo. And we'll leave this all protected for now until we get to the monitor portion of the install. So what else do we have in here? Panels. So we've got a G panel. And the H panel. All right, so we've got everything unboxed. Do a little cleanup here. And we'll get going on the build. Oh, we haven't opened up the side panels yet. We got to do that. Get these pieces out. All right. I'm going to kick this thing all day long. So our back panel, F2. Another back panel, F1. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be putting LEDs on this because it's going to be out in the middle of the floor. You know how I do like LEDs on the back to give backlighting to my cabinets. I don't know if I'm going to do that just yet. On these cabinets are going to exist in the middle. That's beautiful artwork though. So this would be the front panel, I imagine, because it's got holes for the... So just looking at this camera, that's a beautiful front panel there, I think. All right, let's take apart the... So we're taking out our panels. This is E1. Again, I think it's a really great looking cabinet. I mean, yeah, it's probably not the artwork you would expect on a Fast and Furious, but from a guy who really didn't know the game in the arcade, just looking at it, I think it's great, amazing artwork, really. Understand they probably had some licensing issues to deal with, just like they did with WrestleFest. Basic fun. There's the opposite panel, the D1. Ooh, don't bang the panels around. Again, similar artwork on the other side. Looks in great shape. And these would probably be the lower panels. So there's E2, the lower panel on the right side. Good looking artwork. Trying not to get in the camera views. Oh man, guys, bear with me, okay? I'm gonna run upstairs, and there's a good reason for it. So, guys, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be right back, okay? Don't go nowhere. All right, folks, I got a surprise. Thanks for hanging out with me, hanging around. I got a notification while I was doing all this that I had a package delivered. All right, so let's open up this box here and find out what our mystery package is. I'll give you a hint. It came from Las Vegas. This is the package that was supposed to be here later in the week. There we go, folks. Just arrived, hot off the truck. The Federal Express truck. The Basic Fun Centipede Countercade. It's a tote. That's funny. No, we're not going to build this right now, but I do want to get it out of its. So there we go. Flat packed and ready to rock. I'm not going to switch over, Stock Jock. That'd be kind of like stupid, I think. I'm going to finish what I started, eh? But I did want to go get it off the porch. And so I got that little page while I'm unboxing everything else. And so I did want to get this off. So it's here. It's ready to be built. I might be able to be talked into extending the stream here after I get Fast and Furious built. We'll see. See how I feel. So just to finish the unpacking, I do have this last panel to undo. And again, a pretty panel. I do like the colors. I think that's one of the main reasons I got this. I love the colors on this cabinet. Same thing about Yoga Flame. It's what draws me to Yoga Flame. I love the red. So for me, building out this arcade is all about look. I like the look and feel of some of these cabinets. And yeah, maybe they don't play well. Maybe the controls suck. You know, and maybe I can live with it. All right. When I get Fast and Furious done, we're going to do some things. Because I got to tell you, I may have only played that game once in the arcade. So we'll give it a go. I'm not in a rush to get out of here. All right. Let's get going. First, I need a sip. I am getting hot. I might have to take off this sweatshirt. So we need the G panel. We always start with the G panel with Arcade1Up, don't we? It all starts with the G panel. And of course, we need our dowels. So let's see. Just looking at it from my orientation. Dowels on either side. Oh, wrong hole. My cock hurts. Well, if we do that, I will definitely make that. I believe it does, just on what I remember seeing from P-Dub's stream, but I don't want to say that for sure. Okay, and we need K times 2 and G1 times 1. So we need these panels. And we need to put dowels in them. I forgot, you know. This is one of the more complicated Arcade1Up builds, I think. So it's a little different. X Arcade Tank Stick VR down. Oh, okay. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know who Blockade is. I think that's a YouTuber I haven't followed yet. All right, so I got dowels in all of those panels. So G2 panels it wants, or G2. All right, so right here it wants me to put the G2 panels. I'm going to zoom out a little bit or back up the camera. Just to make sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I need G2 panels. First of all, garbage. Okay, and we need D screws. That would be these. Just trying to think if there's any particular way that these need to go. So this is a little different. You all know I don't use power tools. Never have, never will. I did when I first started buying Arcade1Ups. Then I wound up putting a screw through the wood. That's the last time I used a drill. I got the wrong bit in here. Try that one. Oh. It's putting the screw to the side of the panel, or the block. Be careful not to shove the screw all the way through the panel. All right. A couple more screws. Okay. So we're doing the base of the unit here. Arcade1Up builds always start with the base. Oh, this sweater salt totally has to come off. All right. Guys, I'm going to take a moment here to take this sweatshirt off. I'm going to mute myself while I do it. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I was getting really warm. I'm still wearing Pac-Man. Got the Pac-Man shirt on. All right, so we've got step D4 or O4 complete. Let's move on to the next page. All right, now we need D2. We need to attach G to D2. So let's get panel D2, which is a base. This would be D2 right here. If you need me to adjust the camera angle, just let me know. I'll try and accommodate you. All right. Gotta assume that's going to be the back of the cabinet. And then we need a couple of B screws. All right. Let's break out the B screws. You know, a guy with forearm pain, this is excruciating, turning the screwdriver. So I'm going to do my best here. Don't knock over the water. I don't know why. I haven't used this screwdriver in a while. Yeah. All right. So that step is done, 05. So now let's get to 06, which is starting to put in our support panels. Oh, Hockey Town, the Star Wars VR, huh? Okay. I do have that installed, but I don't think I've played it. I just use the hand controllers to play it. All right, so I need more B screws. Let's start putting in the K panels. Always try to stick the stickers on the inside. Keep them out of sight. Don't screw up and dig into the side panel with your screwdriver, Pete. All right. Second K panel. There's a local news reporter that was all excited because she went out and bought a class of 81. And I think she had somebody come over and help her put it together. But very first Arcade1Up, never saw him before, never had any interest, but she's a huge Miss Pac-Man fan. So she saw the class of 81 in Target and grabbed it and put it together. And now I see posts from her every other day talking about her Miss Pac-Man game. So new people are coming into this hobby every day. Oh, crap, I did something wrong. Damn it. Just like P-Dub yesterday. Wrong panel. Pay more attention to the documentation, Pete. I put a K panel where the G1 panel is supposed to go. Hate it when that happens. All right, let's try this again. Need our G1 panel. There we go, because obviously you need the black there where the pedals are going to go. Almost broke this panel. Jeez. Now the K panel goes here. Goes down in the bottom there. Yeah. I did send her a picture of my arcade stock, Jack. She might not be impressed because she didn't really reply to it, but I told her I said the hobby can become addicting. But welcome aboard. I gave her a sailor term. I said, welcome aboard. So who knows if she'll buy more. Right now, she just seems fixated on the class or the Miss Pac-Man game. So I don't even know if she's played other games on that cabinet or if she even knows how to switch games. She posted a post this morning, and I did share the Pac-Man Neon edition at Sam's Club. I took a photo of it, and I sent it to her. And she replied back and said, I'll stick with Miss Pac-Man for now. So doesn't seem like she's too interested in other games at this point. All right, so step 06 is complete. All right. moving on to 05, or no, 06. We just did 06. So we turned the page, and now we're going to put E2 on to try and complete the lower base. So let's get E2 right here. First, let's flip this. Oh, let's not. Be very careful not to rip the K panels off. Okay, and this is where my headlamp. You all remember the headlamp, right? My running headlamp that I use for arcade more than I do running. Really comes in handy because my arcade is not the brightest lit. Ah, come on. Don't do that. There we go. Ooh. All right. Just need some B screws to finish off the job here. All right, so let's get those screwed in. All right. Hey, bad guy, welcome. Welcome to the stream. All right, so I think we're done with the base for now. Yep. So let's get it off the table here and set it on the floor. Looks beautiful so far. All right, now we need the I panel, which is the kick plate, really. And we're going to need the parts and pieces for the oh God, I can't talk. I can't even think. The coin door. Oh my God. Old timer sucks. So we need the coin door. I remember what I did with it. Okay. Now these I don't really do too tight, just tight enough to hold on the plate. Stock check, I'm not going to do that today. I'll do it some other time. I just want to do the straight build and get it up and running. Number one, I don't think I have my drill powered up, or charged up. And I don't know if I have the right size drill bit. All right, so the coin door is on. And we're going to slide it into, well, there it is. It looks pretty. Slide it into the all right. So the lower panel is coming together. Next step, all these panels, KLP we need the speakers. Don't grab it by the wire, Jesus. All right, so we've got that. We need the marquee, which is B. So we got B, we got M, we've got K, L, P times 2, and we need O and O1. Here's O1. And here's O. And we got to dial up here. All right. All right. So we got that one done. We don't have the speaker done yet. All right, so let's do O. A lot more pieces with this than there are regular Arcade1Ups. Imagine building 2 of these, or even 3 or 4, if you're into that and you wanted to have multiple Fast and Furiouses. Oh, this take you forever. All right. And I also need to screw in an F bracket with 2 C screws. To the top of the marquee. Put on my headlamp again. I've already turned the heat on here in Wisconsin. It's warmer today, but the last couple of days it's gotten down in the 30s at night and cold. All right. So step 09 is complete. Now we're going to start attaching these pieces to panel D1. So let's get these pieces out of the way so we can bring the panel up. Panel D1. That would be this guy. All right, so we need to start attaching these pieces. The P's go at the bottom. That's where the... And I always get these pieces wrong because, you know, it's kind of half of this P board is going to go into the bottom. It's going to screw into the bottom. So I always get it wrong, the orientation. But I think that's correct right there. So let's get some B screws over here. Screwdriver. I get better at this though, because the deluxes are all like this, where you have to use a P panel to join the two, the bottom, the base and the top. So I've gotten really good at the orientation because for a while there it confused me how to put this board in. All right. Need the other P panel. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm bumping this microphone. All right, so the P panels are in. I got to put the J panels in too. So the first K is going to go diagonally right here. It's kind of a weird shaped cabinet, so panel placements are a little different. All right. So L will go on the bottom here. Okay. And what do I have left? I have, so I did P, P, K, L. So I just need to do the J panel. So I need to put this on its side. Get anything that could potentially screw up the artwork off. Okay. All right, so I need my J's. Now these also took me a while because I keep installing these upside down to where they need to be, because the screws have to be obviously facing the control panel top. And they even, you know, you got to look really close. And they have two circles where they have a check mark on the proper installation. So right there. Get some D screws. Now I start with the middle. Get the middle in. Because there were times when I would install these J panels and the holes for the control panel would be on the bottom. And then I'm like, oh God, I got to take the thing apart. And I didn't discover that until I had the whole cabinet put together and was ready to put the control panel in. And I'm like, oh no. Did that twice. It was back in the days when I used to just fast video, do a hyper view video. All right, so step 10 is done. All right, now we're going to move to the monitor. So we need to do our monitor work. So I'm going to take this piece off and set it aside. All right. Let's get our monitor up. Now we're going to do that trick that isn't in the documentation, but we're going to half unscrew all the screws around the bezel and peel up the plastic protector beforehand. But before we do that, we're going to put the braces on. Need a bunch of C screws for that maneuver. All right, so let's get that on. These are to mount the monitor into the side panels. Again, I know I mentioned it earlier, but this is a BOE monitor. Those of you in the know that many of their Arcade1Up models came with a TN model, including this Joust and this Dig Dug right behind me, and the Centipede. All three of them have Buy Stuff Arcade's 19-inch monitors in them. Now, I'm a big proponent of Buy Stuff Arcades and what they do. I haven't bought from them in a little while. I did look into a driving cabinet completely built from scratch from them, and that still may be on the table. I don't know. I'm also looking at maybe getting my own racing rig for iRacing purposes. I've always wanted to have an iRacing rig, but you know, that's a lot of money there. But you can, there's racing rigs to be had off Marketplace. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. I really do. Looks like you guys are keeping yourself busy in the chat. That's good. All right. So let's flip this over, and this is a step that's not in the documentation, but you guys know I always do it. And it just makes things easier when it comes to peeling off the plastic protector. You saw P-Dubs do this yesterday with the Basic Fun. Basic Fun is the same. We just kind of do 2 or 3 turns on the screws to lift them up just enough to get the plastic around the screw. Because what happens is if you rip this off without loosening the screws up a little bit, you'll get some artifacts left behind, plastic artifacts. And this is a much cleaner way of doing it. Just make sure you don't get any dust underneath the bezel. Actually, I might not have had to do these screws, but I'm still going to do them anyway. This is interesting. So we just gently kind of pull the plastic around the screws to get them up around it. Now, when you pull this up, that's when you're going to pull the bezel up. So just got to be careful that you're not getting any dust under there. All right, so what I do now is I go back and tighten the screws. Not too tight or you're going to crack the bezel. Just enough to hold the bezel down completely. And don't put your screwdriver through the bezel. I'm trying to rush through this and it's... All right. All right, so the monitor is prepped and ready to go. That's step 11. All right, so now we need to get our D1 panel back up here, and then we'll seat the monitor. I'm going to set the monitor down for a second and go get the D1 panel. All right, so we'll set the monitor in. Got to make sure the monitor is oriented correctly. And it is, because I can see the Arcade1Up. And I need my headlamp again. Just so I can see the screw holes line up. Okay, one's in. Two in. Okay. So step 12 is complete. Monitor is seated. Oh, now we get to put together all of these other little pieces. So, oh, this looks, yikes. All right, so we're going to take the we're going to put these pieces together. Okay, so we need some dowels to make the connection between the speaker and the marquee. You're going to play stupid with me, aren't you? And of course, my screw holes are off. So I'm going to loosen the one side of the bracket so I can move so I can move it around a little bit. So we're attaching the marquee to the speaker grill. There, now it's lined up. I think my lamp is getting weak. I'm going to have to replace the battery. any protective film on this marquee? It doesn't look like it. In fact, the marquee looks like it's peeling up. You guys know if there's any, it doesn't look like there's a protective film on it. So I'm just going to leave it. All right, so we need another bracket. For 01. And I don't know how this goes. And we'll take a stab at it. I am off on Tuesday, so I don't know. Maybe I'll harass everybody and do a stream then. I do have to take my car in for an oil change that day. All right. So we need to connect O1 to O. With dowels. Yeah, this light's getting weak. Gonna have to fix that. Okay. So step 13 is now complete. Now we're going to insert all this stuff into the D1 panel. So let's turn it a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to slide the pieces in. Everything lines up. At this point, I'm going to unwrap the speaker wire and marquee wires and run them down. So this is speakers. Now I'll just go ahead and plug that in right away. Don't have to do it later. Oh, check your plastic too, by the way, on the monitor to make sure that you're not caught by the speaker panel. All right, so we've got the marquee wire, marquee light. Okay. And the O and D panel goes. Oh, so this has artwork on it, so we need to peel up more of this plastic. Did I do this ass backwards? No, that's the way it goes right there. Okay, because that's like a dash or a top. All right, step 14 done. All right, we need the H and the N panels now. There's the N panel. N panel goes right there. And the H panel goes near the top. And that has all the Arcade1Up stuff on it. Slides right into the notch on the marquee assembly. That's good. And I need to do something with E1 first. So we're ready for the other panel. But I need to attach the J panel to the E panel, and I don't really have room. Oh, jeez. Don't everything fall on me. Need to turn that slightly so I have room to work on the panel here. So I need the other side panel. And then we're just going to pop the J on there. Making sure that the holes are in the right place. I need the rest of my D screws. Okay. This is the part that the control panel attaches to. All right. And now it wants us to attach or put E1. So let's take this up temporarily. Here comes the fun part, lining all this stuff up. I only hope that my battery lasts. That's not right. This is the part I hate in these builds, is getting everything to line up on the top. Oh, that went easier than I thought it would. Oh my goodness. We're not quite there yet. There we go. So are we all the way in, all the way around? No. Monitor seems to be snatched into place. Let's start putting B screws in, eh? Make sure I'm down. It doesn't look like I'm down again. I've popped back up on. Why am I struggling? Sometimes if you wiggle the monitor assembly, it'll pop. But the monitor looks like it's in. I don't know. I'm in on that one, so let's go ahead and screw it in. Okay. Screw there, screw there, screw there, there. Got one more screw. What the hell are you doing to me? It's not in here. What the hell? I'm not totally in on this side. Something is in the way here. One stubborn area. It's got to be the monitor that's preventing it. Yeah, it's still. The monitor seems to be correctly seated. You know what? I'm going to loosen the brackets. I think that's partially why. Wow. Wow. Monitor is in there. Oh, that's good to know, Hockey Town, that the risers fit. That's cool. I'm missing a dowel. I don't see a loose dowel. It's always the monitor that throws everything off. Just going to loosen the brackets on all four corners. Let's see it. By doing that. Yeah, there's no screw hole on this though. It's like, you know, the monitor is seated incorrectly. But, you know, I wiggle that around. I've loosened it up in the back. And it just doesn't seem to want to pop in there. Well, you know what I'm going to do just for giggles? Just want to make sure this is done right. I wonder if it's the dowels in this thing. I got all my dowels, so that's not an issue. What I am going to do is hammer it a little bit. All right, let's see what we got. Still loose. Well, I got to get the panel in correctly, because if the control panel, doesn't, the screws, the holes don't line up because of that, it could be a problem. It's not the bezel that's causing it. All right, well. I've screwed around long enough. Let's just see if we can run with it. It's better now that I replaced the dowels. Well, let's run with it. We'll see how it goes. So step 16 complete. It wants me to put the screw on the other side, but I'm going to wait on that. All right, so now we're ready to put the two cabinet pieces together. So I'm going to scooch my table back. Yeah, zero. I've had that issue, and I've tried moving the monitor around. So it's right now loose. I've got the dowels loose, or the holders loose on it. So, all right. So let's get this puppy put together. I don't know what my camera view is like here. All right, so let's go like that. do this other side screw for the marquee. All right. So now we're ready to push the panels together. I can't forget the dowels. I got to do the dowels. And I got to use the dowels from the earlier problem area. So let's hopefully this works. Get in the hole. There we go. There we go. Well, now it looks more together than it did up on the table, so maybe it's fine. All right, so I did the dowels. I just need to do the B screws to attach the two sides. Okay, that side's done. All right. Getting close, folks. Getting close. All right. So it wants me to put two. Oh, it wants me to put two screws here. Of course, those holes aren't lining up. I see where it wants me to put them. But again, those holes aren't lining up. Oh, that can't be a big deal. Let me. It wants two E screws right here. just to hold the bezel or the kick plate in place, I guess. Well, they're going in, so I didn't see the holes, but they're probably wood screws or something. Oh, my forearms are killing me right now. Yikes. I have to probably take a break from the gym tomorrow. Maybe if I do anything tomorrow, I'm probably just going to run. All right, all the screws are in, so step 17 is complete. Now we're going to stand this thing upright. Should have like the 2001 theme, you know, or maybe the Darth Vader theme when he rose from the table. Okay, so now we're gonna tighten up the monitor. All right. So for that, we need more monitor screws. But first, let's tighten up the ones we have. Because I loosened it up thinking that the monitor seating was the problem, when that really wasn't the case. Let's go ahead and put 4 more screws in. Hopefully you guys aren't just looking at my back. Can't really see, so. Oh yeah, one of these headlamps is like a must. All right, let's tighten the other side. All right, monitor is seated. Okay, now we have to put on the braces, the brackets. Bring this over so I make sure I can see the chat. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me on these streams. I could easily build these without streaming, you know. What fun would that be? All right, we're going to need more C screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exact number that we need. All right. The way I do these, it's kind of awkward doing this when the cabinet's assembled, but there's really no other way to do it. Start in one hole, just line it up. I don't tighten it right away. Just get it started. Get it in the hole. Get all the screws in and then tighten. That's the way I do it. Okay. All right, one bracket down, one to go. This one's the awkward one because I'm right-handed. So gets kind of awkward at this point. Right. Second screw. All right. Last screw of the last bracket. All right. Step 18 complete. Now we're ready for the control panel. I'm going to move this camera around, but okay. I'm going to first loosen up the serial cable that the control panel uses. It's still taped to the back of the monitor. All right. Okay, now we need the control panel. Almost there, folks. Now this, I'm going to assume that this is a one-sided clear plastic film. Take off the tape on either side. So we're going to get our first look at, oh, this one's already loose, so let's pull this. The artwork here. Yeah, it's only done on one side of it. That's good. And I'm going to need to cut it so I can get it around the wheel. That's a beautiful control panel. It really is. Not just saying that. It is beautiful. All right. So let's get the control panel in and we'll get going here. I've got some additional cables here. Make sure I know where the notch is. There it is. All right. Our cable is set. And now we move on to step 20, which is to actually screw this thing in. Just going to get the screws in to help seat the control panel, and they are finding the holes, it looks like. So I'm lined up correctly. And again, with the plexiglass, you don't want to over tighten. Did that on my Star Wars. Cracked the plexi. I gotta say, it kind of feels like it's on the right height. Sorry if I'm getting in the way of the camera here, but I can't turn this screw with my left hand. All right. Oh, so it's a bounce back wheel. I don't know, there's a term for it, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So it kind of bounces back to center. That's cool. Yeah. Go Brewers. Hey, P-Dubs, good to see you, man. Sorry about your Cubs. P-Dubs, your comment about funny story about people getting flack for buying it and they wind up enjoying it. That's the one reason I bought this cabinet, because every story I've heard says that people really like this cabinet, and it bore true in the poll that I put out last week. Because I asked, okay, there's 3 cabinets I was looking at. I was looking at this, I was looking at Time Crisis, and I was looking at the Mossy Oak Big Buck Hunter. This one won by, I believe, 47% was the top tally. So, all right, so we're going to attach our cables. We need our Y splitter, which is down here with the power stuff. Oh, I wish I had a mute button. All right, so we're ready to rock and roll with the panels here. I'll move this camera back a little bit so you see what I'm doing. All right, what does the manual say? No, Stock Jock, I'm not going to go back. You're out of luck, my friend. Okay, so we need X and, okay, all right, so let's make sure I get the wiring correct. So the splitter goes into the power right there. All right, so we'll undo the wiring here for the control panel. And the black wire goes into one side on the Y. And the other side goes to cabinet power. All right. And of course, I'm trying to go quickly, so P-Dubs, just to let you know, my centipede actually arrived today. Amazon informed me it shipped when it shipped that it wasn't going to get it until sometime between the 14th and the 16th. Well, here it is, the 12th. I got a notification this morning it was going to be here today, and sure shit, during this stream, showed up on my door. So I don't know if I want to do a build of that. All right, so I've got my speaker connected. I've got my marquee connected. I've got this Y splitter and power going. I assume this is for the pedal. So we're going to hold off on that until we get to it. So let's get the F2 back panel out. All right. So this is going to line up towards the bottom. So I'll stick the power cord. Just so you see what I'm doing. I'm putting the power cord through the lower back panel. Sometimes it goes in right away and snaps into place. Sometimes you got to work it in there. This one went in really well. So one back panel done. Step 22 done. And we're going to need these screws, which are right here. We're almost ready to turn this baby on. Almost. You know, before I button this up, I got to connect that wire. So. Oh, I see how it runs. Okay. I don't necessarily need to do that. All right. I see how we're going to do. Oh, my forearms are killing me, guys. I swear. Mike Hockerts, I think he said it does. Yeah. I'm really happy about that because I'm going to buy some from Joel. I have 2 coming. So the Centipede got here today, and then I bought the Tempest yesterday. So I've got 2 countercades coming, or one here, one coming. And that's true, P-Dubs. I went through the images myself this morning. Still said light up marquee on the countercade. So that's a flub up by them. I'm sure their marketing person is going to have to look at that. All right, so what we're going to do is feed the pedal cable through this hole on the bottom of F1. And that has another pop. Oh, damn it. Get into hole, she said. There it is. All right. A little bit more complicated of a build this cabinet is. I don't remember. It's been so long since I had the Ridge Racer. I don't remember how complicated the Ridge Racer was to put together. I imagine it was something similar. And I'm gonna leave the LEDs off for now, since this is gonna be a cabinet in the middle of the room. I don't have anything to bounce the LED lighting off of, so just gonna hold off on LED lights on the back of this cabinet for now. G.I. Joe, though, he's pretty busy trying to roll out the first order of cabs, one of them being mine. That'll be a fun stream because I will be doing that live. So you will be learning as I am learning how to put a G.I. Joe cabinet. I've never bought anything from G.I. Joe. I've never bought a riser. I've never bought any of the countercade stuff. so I'm looking forward to it. Just on the videos I've seen, it looks fairly straightforward. Take this up. All right. Let's it wants us to run the pedals underneath the cabinet. So here we have our pedals. I'm going to undo the wiring. All right, so pedals are ready to go. And I need to run the cable. See if I can do it just by hand. Oh, can't feel it yet. So we're feeding the pedal cable underneath the cabinet. I'm going to tip it forward just a little bit, just so I can find the cable. There it is. All right, so let's pull, and then we'll plug it into there. So our pedals are connected. All we need is cabinet power. I do have my center power strip, my center room power strip put in place now because I'm going to be starting to populate here in the middle. All right. We have power. Just to make sure I'm not missing any steps. No, I'm. Oh, the screw cap covers. But let's have fun, right? Screw cap covers I can do anytime. Oh man, I had a ridge racer once, P-dubs. I don't recall doing it. I didn't move the cabinet around a whole lot, except for when I did the buy stuff mod. All right, so we're ready here. Try to get a good camera angle here for you folks. I'm gonna peel. This is better than sex, right? I mean, peeling the plastic off an Arcade1Up monitor. I'm sure that'll get clipped. All right. Turn off this. I'm getting some glare. I'm going to turn off the house lights too. Here we go, folks. Power this sucker on. Okay, the marquee is washed out. So I believe I remember. I believe I remember reading about that. So the marquee is definitely something that needs to be replaced. Good sound. All right, folks, I'm going to turn the camera here so you don't see my password. Not that, you know, it'd make any difference, but those of you locally could come steal some internet from my house. Oh, this is difficult as hell. Wish I had a keyboard. All right. Yeah, Gramps, that's an idea too. Looking down the road at the PC mod for this is getting that LCD. I want to keep this stock for a while though. Oh my God, I got to do the QR code thing. Jesus. Look at how cumbersome this is. Don't want to dox myself. They could at least give you common domain names like gmail.com. Getting pretty fast at this. All right, here's where I don't know if it'll let me use the same public name. You know, Arcade1Up makes you choose a different one. My ID is QD Arcade, or if it doesn't let me use that, I'll use QD Arcade 71. Well, let me use QD Arcade. Okay, so I'm just QD Arcade for Fast and Furious. Yes, I'll post to leaderboards. All right. So we got two games, Fast and Furious and Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. See if you guys can see that okay. I'm adjusting the white balance. Oh, Jesus. There's no in between here. Come on. Help me out. Come on. Let's see what one gets me. All right, that's better. Okay. All right, let's see if I can figure this out. It's going to be a little awkward because the camera's in the way here. So view 1, view 2, view 3 are my 3 buttons here on the side. Then I have the live button, music. What did I just do? I pressed the music button. But I want the music.
Choose a track.
Choose a track. Oh, let's do Times Square.
Times Square. Choose your transmission.
Oh, I'll go automatic. I'm a chicken shit.
Auto. Choose your ride. GTR 34. Select an upgrade. Nitrous.
Okay, pedal works.
Ready? Set, go!
Whoa! Whoa, shit. Okay, I got a lot to learn. I'm coming at this from never having played this game before, so. Whoa. Oh, man. It is fun. I will give you that. I'm just wrecking everything. Oh, man. Don't mind me, folks. Get out of my way.
Use the nitrous.
All right, how do I do that? Not bad for a rookie.
New record time.
Cool beans.
Enter your name.
Ah. Ah, there's a limit. QD Arcade. I just put QDA from now on. All right, let's go. I'm trying to think of what button to press to get back. Okay, I'm trying to. How do I get back to? Where's the manual? Jesus, got to resort to the manual, folks. Who does that? How do I get back to the menu? Owner's manual. Read these instructions. Sure, I'll do that. Well, that's no help. One of these buttons for 5 seconds, right? Press and hold start button, maybe?
Select your track.
Help me out, chat. How do I get back to the menu?
San Francisco. Select the transmission.
Well, it wasn't holding the start button down.
Automatic transmission. Select your 350Z. Customize your car. What's your number?
Live button. Okay. I'm pressing and holding the live button, and it's not doing anything. Oh, never mind. Leave this game. It says it right on the screen. All right, so we're back at the menu. Let's check out Tokyo Drift.
Choose a track.
Oh, very limited in the tracks here.
Takayama. Choose your automatic transmission. Choose your car. Mustang. Upgrade your ride. Nitro.
Fun game. I like it.
Checkpoint.
Ooh, pretty. I like this track.
Checkpoint.
Oh, great track. Well, that didn't help.
Checkpoint.
Whoa! Holy moly! Oh, wow! I love this game so far. Oh man, I'm flying. Ah, that was fun.
New record time.
I do love this game.
What's your name?
All right, we're just going to use QDA this time for brevity, and that's what I use on my other three. That was fun.
Pick a track.
Okay, so we did the countryside
Kyoto.
to Kyoto.
Customize your car. Engine.
Seems to be like a delay of load here.
Ready, set, go!
Pretty trees. Ooh, lots of turns here. Whoa! Oh, I got to get used to this track. I like the other track better. Straighter.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Come on. Come on! Come on! Ah!
New record time.
It's okay. This is a fun game. All right, let's do like a mini review, just to be fair. House lights. All right, so there are certain things everybody looks at cabs, right? Okay. Let's first of all let's talk about cabinet shape, form factor. I think it's a win. Okay, I do like the form factor. As far as the artwork, I love the artwork. I realize it's not arcade accurate, but for me, for my purposes, for what I want in my arcade, I love the look of the artwork on here. You purists, I get it. I get where you're coming from. So just know that you are heard. I get it. I like this artwork. Let's talk about game controls. The control panel. I love the steering wheel. It's in the very few games that I've played, I love the feel of the steering wheel and the control of the vehicle. It seems to be working really well for me. I have not tried the stick shift. All the games you saw me play were automatic. So this takes some getting used to for me. I'm not a stick shift driver, so for me going into automatic is kind of like a gimme. So I'll play around with it. Button controls, your typical Arcade1Up button controls. I didn't try out the camera views, so I can't comment on the camera views. Maybe we'll do that here in a second. Pedals seem to be okay to me as far as brake and gas. They appear to be standard Arcade1Up. It reminds me of the Ridge Racer control, so they're good, I think. Monitor is great. It's a crisp BOE monitor, 17-inch monitor. Will I eventually do the buy stuff 19-inch upgrade? Maybe. Marquee is terrible. Okay, it's completely washed out. It's terrible. Now, will I get a Joe Zabos replacement? It depends on how quickly I'm going to jump into the buy stuff mod, PC mod. If I go straight into that, then I'll just get the LCD marquee replacement and go that route. But if I feel like I want to keep the stock, which right now I kind of want to keep it stock, maybe I'll hit up Joe Zabos for a marquee replacement. They're fairly easy to do. I did it on my Arcade1Up Tempest back there. It's just slip on. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. It's just slip on. So maybe I'll do that. Sound. You've got your grill covers here on your speakers. The sound is amazing. I do like the sound. Will I need to do like the Logitech Z313 update? Maybe I will, but I'll probably keep the stock speakers in and just use the bass part of the Z313 for the bass shaking part in the cabinet. I'll set that down in the lower part of the cabinet. Coin door, you don't have lit coin doors. Obviously, we have a mod for that. Thanks to Stock Jock, I have the parts and pieces to take care of that at a future date and time, which I'll do. Height of the cabinet, for me, I'm only 5'7". It's a perfect height. I don't need a riser or anything. It's perfect. Both me and my gal, I think, will do well with the height. So that's really good. Build was kind of a little bit more difficult in your standard Arcade1Up. I kind of pointed that out during the install. It was a little bit more difficult than a standard deluxe, but we got there. The documentation is really done well. Any questions that the audience has? Otherwise, I'm going to call this done. Oh, Gamer Fridge says I should do the Team Encoder mod. Yeah, I'll look into that. Gamer Fridge, can you tell me if the, and I'll find this out on my own later, I guess, but can you comment on, does the Team Encoder mod allow you to still use the stock games on the PCB? So I'm going to hit this cabinet for the marquee. That's about the only bad thing. I realize the game is different from the arcade. It's hacked up to change the tracks around, change some of the cars are eliminated. I understand. I get that the game is different, but you got to. I'm coming at this from a guy who's never played this game before, so to me, I like the gameplay. This is a fun game to play. Okay, Gamer Fridge, thank you very much. Thanks for answering that question. So I'm happy with the cabinet. It's a good purchase for me. I've been wanting this cabinet for a while, and I kind of saved up for it, and I'm glad I pulled the trigger. This is going to be a fine addition to the Quarterdeck Arcade. So kind of want to get a second one now, just so the Gal and I. This is fun. I can picture my Gal and I side by side. Wrecking each other, and it'd be totally fun. Now, where am I going to put this? So I've got my middle space here. Obviously, this table's not going to be here. This is going to sit. I'm going to move my Space Invaders over here, and for now, I'm going to put this opposite my Space Invaders and build out a middle row here. I mentioned at the top of the stream that I'm going to do. I should turn to the camera, I guess. I mentioned at the top of the stream that I have a couple of surprises. So there are surprises coming, and I also have the G.I. Joe cabinet coming, and I also have the Glintendo coming as well, the FU cabinet. So I got to start making room. I've got my power in place. Again, I'm not going to bother with LED lights for the middle cabinets. I could put a wall in between either side, and that would bounce the LED lighting off of it. But I really don't. The partitions I have now are kind of tall, and I don't want to block off the view of the arcade. These 3/4 scale cabinets are kind of a perfect height where you can kind of see the entire arcade. It's, if I put up these partitions that I have on the outside, it would come up to here, and it would kind of cut off the view of the wall art, and I don't want to do that. So do they make panels that are a little shorter, maybe 4 feet tall, that would end at the top of the back of the cabinet? I don't know. Maybe they do, and maybe I can look into that. But so I can actually add to the ambiance, bounce some LED lighting off of that. So I'll look at doing that. You guys are already trying to get me to buy another one. Oh, wow. I'm really satisfied with this purchase. So, guys, I hate to break it to you, but I need a break. So, you guys know that I got this today. I do want to put it. I kind of want to put it together today. So I'm going to take a break for a little while and maybe come back and do a live stream later. So look for that. Look for the notification. If you haven't hit the bell for notifications on my channel, please do so. I don't stream that much. I do post, more. I post more than I actually do videos and streams. So we'll We'll probably come back later today and put this together. What do you think? Is that acceptable? I need a break. I need to go get something to eat, or I'm going to like go into shock. But in the meantime, I can move things around a little bit. All right, guys. I appreciate it. I know you guys want to see P-Dubs did his stream yesterday, so there's really no need for me to jump right into this. But I'll come back later, I think, and do it. Let me sit down here. I've been standing up for 3 hours. Transition. Cool. Well, that was a marathon stream, wasn't it? Oh, I love that cabinet. I'm gonna after I end the stream and go get something to eat, I'm gonna come back down here and I'm gonna rearrange stuff a little bit. So guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. I do this for fun. Okay, this is a hangout stream pretty much. I do like to demonstrate and show and you guys get a feel for how these builds go. If you have never done one before, somebody might be watching this stream later and seeing how it goes from start to finish. And that's why I do these streams, to show any of the gotchas that I get. So it's why I do what I do, but it's primarily a hangout stream. I love hanging out with you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So maybe later today, okay? So if you see the notification, hit the like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you get notified if I do that stream later today. So all I got to say after that is have a great week, a safe week. And if I don't see you later on today, remember, I got next. Oh.